So we always have to find out. Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglosh for the WDMA. We always have to find out. Yeah. We gotta turn the sound down here. Yes, we'll talk about mail today, but first we're going to talk about the Super Bowl. I can't help it. It's what we're talking about this week, right? And so I found a weird commercial that Under Armour is not going to show on the Super Bowl, right? They're going to show it around the Super Bowl. We're going to talk more about that in a little bit. But Under Armour has a campaign going. We'll get to that in a second. That's about fake and AI in sports. Now, who would ever think sports were fake? The NFL is actually incorporated as an entertainment venue, not as a sport that is like has governmental oversight to make sure that it's all legal. No, they just do what they want. And who would have thought that the spokesperson for governmental hygiene, who was in the Super Bowl in 2020, will also be in the Super Bowl today, or this weekend. That's just a coincidence. Maybe it's telling you something. I don't know. I can't say. Anyway, but they start off the commercial with AI generated crazy. And I'm going to try my best to show you how this works.
Sports are.
So he's pushing the bottle right into his forehead. These are actual cameos of actual people who represent Body Armor sports drinks. See, it's stuck in his head.
Lifestyle.
This one, the ball goes right into his arm. See that? Cool, huh? Okay, let's see the next.
Trust tackle ball.
This is a girl playing, and I don't know if anything else happens.
Electrolytes equal mouth success.
Electrolytes. This one, no idea.
Artificial flavor.
This guy's got a football jersey, football helmets, and a basketball, playing basketball.
For victory time.
This one's got a pig and a cake. And the words don't make any sense either if we get the closed captions up there. Success artificial flavor optimized for victory. And that is, it just explodes.
Official? Nah.
Yeah.
Body Armor knows nothing in sports should be artificial because there's no substitute for real. Real sweeteners, real flavors, real love of sport. Body Armor. Nothing is more real.
Okay, so nothing is more real. And just to be fair, I went out and typed Body Armor sports drink or something and drink Body Armor reviews. And one guy gave it a 7, but several athletes, look like athletes, ripped, guys, said, first off, there isn't enough sodium and potassium in it. It would taste more salty. And he offered some pills that you could buy for cheap. I mean, he wasn't selling them. He was just recommending them that were a lot less expensive. Someone else read the label and all the non-natural ingredients. I mean, for heaven's sakes, it's sugar-free, but it's sweet. So anyway, now let's talk. Well, let's talk about hacking the Super Bowl. Let's get over to that. We got to close this one off. Boom. And Body Armor challenges Field of Fake in Super Bowl debut. 0 sugar, but sweet, right? And so Coca-Cola, this is owned by Coca-Cola. Now, when you think about it, Body Armor, even the original brand, it's not armor. It's not going to stop a bullet or a bow and arrow or something. It's not Kevlar. It's just underwear. They call it Body Armor. So right off the bat, it's fake. It's fake, fake, fake. Nothing is more real than Under Armour. Under Armour. Okay. Except a pair of long johns from Farm and Fleet. Okay. So Body Armor knows this. And these are the names of the sports celebrities that are sort of shown, but not really. It has real sweeteners. What does that mean? I saw one of their products had coconut milk, and another one. But is corn syrup real? Sure. Is stevia real? Sure. Real in some sense. I don't know. So anyway, Tom Gargilo says it's incredibly important. Consumers have a passion for sports, and of course most of them aren't real athletes. People love to play them and love to think that they're doing stuff that would make them like Mike. Affinity is what sports is about, right? Which is fake. So they were talking about how pervasive AI was becoming, and so they decided to make a really fake commercial in the beginning with all of the mistakes that AI might make in creating a video. This is from Kristen Rumble. There's no substitute for real, especially in sports. If you strip away the realness, well, that's not sports. Are you saying WWE isn't real? Of course it's real. I remember when Reggie White decided to get in the ring, and he just got killed. He said, those guys, you might not, it may be scripted who wins, but some of that flying around is not for the faint of heart. Anyway, the spot will not be broadcast as a national Super Bowl spot, so you probably won't even see it. It's going to be regional across 20 plus key cities. Why? Why regional? It's because by the time they got done, now they probably didn't realize that the Super Bowl is every year. It's some years it's not. Well, in the 50s it wasn't, right? But since then, it's been every year. So it snuck up on them, and they didn't make any deadlines to buy the advertising. You don't have to have the commercial ready by the time the advertising is bought. So inventory was running low. Now that's interesting because if the television spots, there's a limited number of television spots during the Super Bowl. And if you go to the fourth quarter, you get lousy viewership no matter what you do. Okay, that we talked about the other day. Okay, so instead of taking inventory during the last quarter, I wonder if this guy's a football fan. Do we ever call it the last quarter? No, the fourth quarter. Where many fans might be, well, the fans won't be tuning out, but the women, 60% of them will be tuning out because they only watch it for the commercials. There's a limited number of commercials in the Super Bowl itself. There's a limited time the Super Bowl runs. It's on a particular day every year. You can look it up for next year, though, right now if you want. You can buy ads for next year right now if you want, okay? But if you didn't get that deadline, if you didn't know there was a deadline, then, okay, snuck up on you. But in digital, there's no such thing. Digital ads have multiplied and multiplied and multiplied. Email has multiplied and multiplied and multiplied. I want you to think about that. If there's money, there's always more ads and more inventory. So that's where they're going. And Gargilo says that they've done a deal with Connor McDavid, pushing us into the hockey space. Does anybody talk like that? Anyway, a real down-to-earth direct marketing agency, Gunderson Direct, goes platinum. I didn't know that the 2023 Platinum International Awards were the highest honor for direct mail. It used to be, I thought, the Echo Awards. I was a judge in the final year of the Echo Awards. It's 23 countries or something like that. Really, really a big deal. And they won. It's not so easy to know what this was about. I wish we would have had a little explanation of the actual campaign and strategy, but they did raise $72,000 for children. So way to go, 28 countries. Okay, way to go, Mike Gunderson. Over here's an article from Kamiko McCoy with a $7 million Super Bowl for a 30-second ad. It's about that. People are hacking the system, kind of like what Under Armour's doing. You can buy ads around the Super Bowl, right? And you can do other events. But the main thing is that people are doing second screens. They're advertising on digital around the hashtags around the Super Bowl. And Kamiko says that Twitter, I'll have another article that she wrote about how Twitter is the main place to go when the Super Bowl is running. And that's what the second screens article is about. So I'll include that in the show notes over at WDMA.org. Go there, subscribe. It's in the members only area. It's free to subscribe. It encourages me. We really don't send out any email, although I'm thinking of doing another meetup because we have fun doing those. In late February, we'll give it a leap theme or something. Anyway, so there have been other brands that have done this alongside, and she also had an article about how nobody's leaving Twitter, at least not until after the Super Bowl, but I doubt if they're going to leave it anyway. We'll talk about that tomorrow a little bit more. Okay, and she said that appearing around the Super Bowl instead of in it offers advertisers more bang for their buck. And then she has a whole bunch of different media experts, well written. This is from DigiDay, which I don't look at too often, but she talks about GIF and how they did a different partnership. And there was a really poignant thing. Live events are strong hooks. Advertisers aren't limited to the traditional broadcast buy by the usual fare on the game day. And there are more opportunities than ever to get in front of shoppers. It's also a more interesting way of activating on the day than just putting out a TV spot. Doritos is going to be doing an ad late in the game, in the third quarter. Okay. If you don't have the budget to play into some of the off-site advertising, odds are you're going to be drowned out, says Veronica Thu, head of strategy at Mother New York Creative Shop. Thu said it's less about saving ad dollars and more about creating a ripple effect around the big game to keep a brand top of mind for shoppers. And that's the tricky part. The Super Bowl is a moment for creativity, and part of the creativity isn't just the advertising, but the media strategy. And, how do you keep that going? It's difficult. Okay, this was an article from LinkedIn, powered by AI and the LinkedIn community. I didn't recognize anybody in there that participated in this ad, but it's about direct and indirect marketing channels. And it starts off okay, I'd have to say. Direct marketing channels are those that allow you to communicate and sell directly to your customers without any intermediaries. Think website, email, social media, phone, or face-to-face. Something's missing there. Direct mail. Where'd the direct mail go? That's one of the most effective direct marketing channels. It's pretty much what we talk about here on Wisconsin Direct Marketing Association, although we like to say Warrior Direct Marketing Association. Indirect is retailers, distributors, wholesalers, or agents. So after that, it kind of goes downhill. There isn't really any much content in there, but you're free to go over to WDMA after the show and download it. But I wanted to talk about Craig Huey's recent article, okay? And it's, I would say, a lot better, okay? This is a lot better. This is from April, but I don't remember ever covering it. Craig, you need to update your blog on a regular basis. I get the emails. This was in the email, but it wasn't in the blog, which I have tagged to look at, but I keep seeing the same articles over and over and over. So this is a story, and as I said, I don't recall mentioning it before, about Sun Calora. That's It's a dried algae product or something like that. It's popular in Japan. George Higashida, the founder or the entrepreneur behind the product, couldn't get enough of it in the U.S. retail and health food stores, no matter how hard he tried. The few stores that did agree to carry the product didn't sell much of it because people would get in there and, I tried to help a company with a product that we got into Target, but nobody would know what it was. We should have done it direct. And I said that over and over and over and over, but they kept looking for some big splashy event, anyway. So even when he got in there, he felt chained to the whims of small, unpredictable groups of stores. And so that meant that needed to go direct to consumer. A lot of wisdom in that, a lot of wisdom in launching that way. I helped Sonicare launch, and they were talking about they were talking to Walgreens and Sharper Image, and I said, just keep talking to Sharper Image. Basically, do whatever it takes. If you get in there, the retail buyers will see it and they'll want it because they know that interesting products show up in Sharper. That was back in the day, of course. So the challenge was to turn an unknown, unappealing product, multi-algae pills, into something American consumers would rush to buy. Okay, we needed to be profitable right off the bat. We needed to figure out the marketing channel, advertising materials, and add target audience. We needed to build a database of prospects that we could mail to, direct mail, loyal continuity program for repeat sales, and cross-sell other nutritional products to the new database. Isn't this great? And most of all, create an accountable system so that George and his team knew the cost per sale and knew if they were making any money or not. Let's make it trackable. Let's make it measurable. But here's the part I like the best. These included branding the company. We had to create a U.S. presence, right? And an image and a name that people would recognize. Positioning the campaign for our target market, targeting the right audience. Unique selling proposition. All these are important. You've heard them before. Irresistible direct response offer, which of course requires testing mostly. Professional direct response copy, not a bunch of ad hype. And here's the part we love. Testing, and more testing, always striving to improve results. Okay? Developing a sophisticated response analysis program. And why is direct mail the best source of that? Well, because it goes all the way to the sale. We can sell in one mailing piece. We can actually sell the product. We can track it back to that mailing piece. We can track it back to that household that purchased. And we can compare the geodemographics of those households that bought with the geodemographics that we mailed. We know it got delivered. We know it went to a decision maker. We know they engaged and made a decision about that mailing piece. Some didn't buy. So we can compare the ones who didn't buy with the ones who did. And that is everything in marketing, in identifying your target audience. The engaged non-buyer is the key missing piece that makes direct-to-consumer so powerful if you use mail. Okay, not if you listen to the LinkedIn article. Return on investment, how did it work out? Return on investment was positive from the start. Then after the first campaign, we kept testing media and creative elements. We used direct mail, traditional envelope mailings, a magalog, and a bookalog down here. He talks about that. Okay? They marketed to landing pages. Craig says, never market to your corporate website. Amen. There are no distractions on the landing page. You find out who really wants it for sure. A direct response landing page. Series of emails designed to remind the prospect, like retargeting. And digital marketing. You can put a digital ad on somebody's phone when they receive the mailing piece in their home. Today, Sun Corella is a household nutritional brand in the U.S. And that campaign generated 600,000 new buyers. And retailers began to beg Sun Corella nationwide to be on their shelves. Okay? So, have a great day. Like and share. Your friends will know you're smart. Bye-bye.